Hello students, Namaste and welcome back once again to the today's session over design of compression member. So in the today's session we are going to discuss about struts, STRUTS, that is struts as a compression member. So struts are nothing but it is a compression member. It's a purely compression member, basically provided in truss, steel truss. Okay, so the struts are generally made up of single angle or double angle placed back to back on opposite side of gusset plate, or double angle placed same side on gusset plate. So I'll repeat once again. So struts are made up of angle section. So it can be used as single angle strut member, or there is a first case single angle strut, second case double angle strut. So in double angle strut there are again two categories: double angle placed on opposite side of gusset plate and double angle placed same side of gusset plate, that is back to back same side and back to back opposite side of gusset plate. So you will come to know when I start with the when I explain with sketch, you will go to know what is same side and what is opposite side. So the important here is its behavior, the load carrying capacity or the behavior of the section, how it will differ if you are using single angle and if you are using double angle back to back of gusset plate, that is opposite side of gusset plate, and double angle on same side of gusset plate. Okay, we are going to discuss that in the further sessions. Okay, so we will start with the discussion one by one. Okay, so now if you go to IS 800 clause number 7.5, it is mentioned angle strut. Okay, angle strut. So again if you check here, so it is 7.5.1 single angle strut. Okay, so 7.5.1, this clause is given for single angle strut. Okay, so I'll just read out the statement what it is given. The compression in single angle may be transferred either concentrically to its centroid through end gusset or eccentrically by connecting one of its leg to gusset or adjacent member. Okay, so what they have given in single angle strut, the force is transferred either concentrically or eccentrically. Eccentrically means it is loaded through one leg. Okay, so here I'll just show you the sketch of angle section. Okay, here it is angle section, and if we check the centroidal axis here. Okay, so just now I was explaining, you can see the single angle section here, and in compression member the load has to transfer through the centroidal axis. The load has to transfer through the centroidal axis. But here, because the angle section is unsymmetrical about both the axes. The angle section is unsymmetrical about both the axes. Okay, so what will happen? The centroid of the section will move away from the member. The center of the member, the centroidal axis of the member is not passing through the member. Okay, so we cannot apply force away from the member, so we have to apply force. Okay, means if we apply force here, it is neither carried by this leg or this leg because it is away from the member. So we have to load our angle section, through either this leg or this leg. Means that time what will happen? Our compression member carrying a force eccentrically, not concentrically. What is concentric and eccentric? If force carried by the member exactly through the centroidal axis, means it is called as concentrically compression member. But in this case we cannot apply force at this through the centroidal axis because it is away from the member. We have to apply the force either from this leg, through this leg, or through this leg. Means what? We have to connect this member to the gusset plate, to this leg or to this leg. We have to attach this angle section to the gusset plate either by connecting these to these legs and or this leg. So means what will happen? Our force is not applied through the centroidal axis, it is away from the centroidal axis, or it is loaded through one leg. Then it is called as it is eccentrically loaded connection, or it is loaded through one leg. So that's why I given. Note, single angle strut are generally loaded through only one leg because the reason is the single angle section is unsymmetrical about our horizontal axis or vertical axis. So that's what will happen. We have to apply a load through any one leg, means it is become as eccentrically loaded connection. Okay, so that time what will happen? It will bend about the principal axis. It will not bend about either x-axis or y-y axis. It will bend about the principal axis VV. It will bend about the principal axis VV, for which the radius of gyration. So we have to consider when you are using single angle member as a or the single angle strut as a compression member, we have to use R minimum is equal to RVV always for single angle strut only. Okay, we have to take R minimum as RVV because our single angle strut will bend. I'll write here, that is single angle strut bend about principal axis VV. So that is the reason we have to use R minimum as RVV only. You don't have to consider RXX or RYY. Directly you have to use R minimum is equal to RVV in case of single angle strut. Okay, understood? So that's why in the clause, if it is a concentric, when single angle is concentrically loaded in compression member, the design of strength may be evaluated based on 7.1.2 what we have evaluated in design of what we have calculated by the previous session, what you have used, that is nothing but 7.1.2. if you want, I will show it here. Okay, here see, these are the clauses where we have calculated the FCD. 7.1.2 you can see here, 7.1, below that 7.1.2 here. in the previous session we have calculated. If it is concentrically loaded, but single angle is not a concentrically loaded member, it is eccentrically loaded member. So for that they are given one more clause. Okay, this is for 7.5.1, that is concentrically loading, and the next clause is, I'll show it here, which is again important, that is loaded through one leg. Loaded through one leg means it is a eccentrically loaded member. Okay, so in that case, flexural torsional buckling, strength of single angle loaded in compression through one leg, may be evaluated using equivalent slenderness ratio lambda. So we have to find out lambda here. We have to find out lambda for single angle by using this equation. If it is a single angle, okay, we cannot find out lambda is equal to KL by R minimum. We cannot find out lambda is equal to KL by R minimum for single angle, concentrically, eccentrically or loaded through one leg. Okay, so we have to find out lambda by using this equation. For this equation, whatever the data are required, it is given here. So this is regarding single angle. Now if you are using double angle, see, it is given as double angle strut, clause number 7.5.2, double angle. For double angle discontinuous strut connected back to back on opposite side of gusset. Okay, I told you, if you are using double angle, if it is connected back to back on gusset plate or connected same side on gusset plate. So here also it is clause has been mentioned. You have to follow these clauses based on the condition given in the problem. Okay, so for double angle discontinuous strut connected back to back on opposite side of gusset, तो उस केस में आपको क्या करना है? In that case you have to use the effective length KL. Okay, in the, if it is single angle, you cannot calculate effective length directly KL by R minimum. So here you have to use the plane and gusset are taken as between 0.7 to 0.85 times distance between the intersection. So we have to use the value of K if it is a double angle discontinuous strut connected on opposite side of the gusset plate. So that time you have to use K, the effective length factor K is equal to 0.7 to 0.85 times. Understood? So that is for double angle opposite side of gusset plate. So one more, here it is given as one more clause number, that is here you can see double angle discontinuous strut connected back to back on one side of gusset plate or same side of the gusset plate. Okay, one or volt rate. So we have to calculate the equivalent weight again based on 7.5.1. So if it is connected on same side of the gusset plate, you have to calculate the strength as per again 7.5.1. Okay, so here again we have to take the value of this thing as, again we can take it as 0.7 to 0.85. Understood? So this is the difference if it is connected on one side and connected on opposite side of the gusset plate. So we will solve the problem by considering these clauses, all the clauses what I have explained just now. We will solve the problems. That time you will get to know and you can easily understand the how to use these clauses. Okay, so we will solve the problems in this session. Okay, we will start with the solution of problems. Okay, so today we will solve first, that is a problem over, okay, that is welcome to JCE Connect struts. So you have to refer, as I told you, the clause number, that is 7.5, page number 47. You have to go you have to refer clause number 7.5, page number 47 for struts. Okay, for struts, it may be single angle or double angle strut. Okay, so I'll read out the statement here. So I'll read out the statement. An ISA 100 mm by 100 mm by 6 mm means it is a Indian standard angle 100 mm by 100 mm by 6 mm is used as a strut in truss. The length of the member or the length of the strut between the intersection at each end is given as 3 meter. Calculate the strength of the strut. You have to find out what they have given, there is an angle 100 mm by 100 mm is 6 mm and it is a single angle strut. Okay, and the length between the intersection is 3 meter, it is given as 3 meter. So we have to find out its strength. Okay, when it is connected by 2 bolts at each end, first condition, and the second condition, it is connected by 1 bolt at each end. This is the given data. So after that, as I told you, note once again I will read out. Single angle strut are generally located through only one leg. That means it is a eccentrically loaded. Okay, so this also I told you, when single angle is connected with one leg, it is neither bend about horizontal axis xx or vertical axis yy, it will bend about the principal axis vv. So that time you have to use r minimum is equal to directly rvv. Okay, so that is single angle strut bends about principal axis. So we will start with the solution now. Okay, so now I will just read out the note down the given data first. So L is given as 3000 mm. Okay, here. So if you go back and check this steel table, so you will get R minimum is equal to RVV, because it is a single angle, directly you have to use RVV. So that is 19.5 mm. Okay, then area 1167 mm square. So these are the given data. L is 3 meter, so that is 3000 mm, and R minimum and area you will get it from steel table. Okay, if you want I will show you. Okay, you can see here for 100 by 100 by 6, the area is 1167 mm square, it is 11.61 centimeter square. And again, if you go and referring here at the end here, you can check the value of RVV. So that is RVV is 17.5. Okay, so just now we have checked the values for R minimum and area from steel table. Okay, now we'll start with the solution. Okay, so first of all, okay, I told you, if it is loaded through one leg, you have to find out the equivalent slenderness ratio lambda I by using this equation. So I'll note down the equation first. Okay, if it is for single angle, you have to use this equation only for single angle. Okay, so therefore for first case we are solving here. Okay, so here I can write here first, that is at each end connected by 2 bolts. So that is the first case, at each end connected by 2 bolts. Okay, so as per the clause number 7.5.1 and 7.5.1.2, we have the lambda value is K1 plus K2 lambda VV square plus K3 lambda phi square. Okay, so K1, K2, K3, these are the values, depends upon the table here. Okay, on the same page number. So you have to assume, first of all you can check number of bolts at each end more than or equal to 1 or 1. Okay, and then condition is whether it is fixed hinge. So based on that, the value of K1, K2, K3 will differ. Okay, so here we can assume whether either fixed or either hinge. Based on that, you have to take these values, that is K1, K2 and K3. Okay, so another detail, lambda VV. So lambda VV is equal to L by R VV divided by epsilon into square root of pi square E upon 250. So these are the values you have to find out. Okay, so first we have to find out lambda VV. So lambda VV is L divided by RVV. So L is 3000, RVV is 19.5 divided by modulus of epsilon is 1 into square root of pi square E is 2 into 10 to 5 divided by 250. So we will get this value as 1.73. Okay, 1.73. This value will get it as 1.73. So after that, lambda phi B1 plus B2 divided by again epsilon square root of pi square E upon 250 into 2t. So B1 and B2 are nothing but leg length. So here we are using equal angle. So if B1 is 100 and B2 is also 100. Okay, divided by again 1 into square root of pi square E is 2 into 10 to 5 upon 250 into 2t. T is the thickness of this thing. So we have got 6 mm, 100 by 100 by 6. So we will get this value as lambda phi as 0.187. 0.187. Okay. So here B1 and B2 mean nothing but the leg length of angle. So you have got 100 by 100, so 100. So you get a 60 by 90. So 60 plus 90 like that. Okay. So now from table number 12, page 48, considering the ends to be fixed, K1 is 0.2, K2 is 0.35 and K3 is 20. Okay, as I told you. Okay, here I'll show it once again. Okay, यहाँ पे देखो अभी. So I have assumed as fixed and the number of bolt is 1. 1 meter. I'll check once again. Sorry, by 2 bolts. Sorry, but okay, here by 2 bolts. So here 2 bolts, and I assume the end condition as fixed. So based on you will get K1, K2, K3. So we got 0.2, 0.35 and 20. अगर आप उस केस में if you assume hinged, so आपको ये assume करना, you have to take these values. Okay, so I have assumed the number of bolts are in the given problem it is given as 2 numbers, so more than or equal to 2. Here condition I have assumed as fixed, तो उसके हिसाब से I will get K1, K2 and K3. So you have to note down those values. So next, so I have got lambda phi, lambda VV. So we will calculate lambda now. Lambda E is equal to, I will subtract back here. So it is square root of, I will not write the formula. I will write the value directly, plus into 1.73 square plus 20 into 1.875 square. So we will get lambda E is equal to 1.397. Understood? So then next, therefore the design compressive stress as per page number 34, the design compressive stress as per page number 34, FCD is equal to Fy divided by gamma m naught divided by phi plus phi square minus lambda square raised to 0.5. Okay, So we have to find out the phi now, because we have already calculated lambda. Lambda here is nothing but lambda e, so we will calculate phi. So value of phi is given as 0.5 into bracket of 1 plus alpha into lambda minus 0.2 plus lambda square. Okay, so here the value of alpha is 0.49 because the angle will be under buckling class C. Okay, so we'll get the alpha is 0.49, so I'll substitute here. So 0.5, 1 plus 0.49, lambda value is 1.397 minus 0.2 plus again lambda value is 1.397 square. So we'll get phi value as 1.77. We'll get phi value as 1.77. So therefore FCD is equal to, you have to substitute in this formula again. FCD is equal to phi is 250 divided by 1.1 bracket of 1.77 bracket of phi square 1.77 square minus lambda is 1.397 square raised to 0.5. So we will get this value, the FCD value is 79.55 Newton per mm square. So we will get FCD is equal to 79.55 Newton per mm square. So next is, so therefore design compressive load PD is equal to FCD into area. FCD into area. So we have got FCD as area is 1167 and FCD as 79.55 Newton per mm square. So we will get this force as 92.83 into 10⁻³ Newton. We will get PD as, or it is 92.83 kilonewton, the design compressive load. So this is the final answer, that is the design compressive load for single angle loaded through one leg, that is eccentrically connection. So 92.83 kilonewton. So this is for first case. Okay, and the second case उन्होंने क्या दिया है, what they have mentioned in second case, it is connected by one bolt at each end. So case 2 is connected by one bolt at each end. So here all the steps remain same. Okay, all the steps remain same, but one change is again, that is value of K1, K2 and K3. The values of K1, K2 and K3 here. अभी आप इस केस में क्या करना है आपको, here these values will change. So if you are assuming fixed, so you have to use K1, K2, K3 like this. All other steps are same. Okay, even values are also same. L same रहेगा, R minimum same रहेगा. Only thing, this thing lambda E, for the calculation of lambda E you have to use K1, K2, K3. If you are assuming fixed, this value, if you are assuming value, this value. Okay. So just I will not solve these problems for the using the again I will write K1, K2, K3 that assuming fixed. Okay, assuming fixed. So therefore by table number 12, okay, and here one bolt is there, so the value of K1 will get it as 0.75, K2 as 0.35 and K3 as 20. You have to use K1, K2, K3 as these values and other steps are same. Only आपको क्या change करना है वहाँ पे, value of K1, K2 and K3 you have to change. Understood? So this is regarding if you are using single angle strut as a compression member. तो इस केस में आपको यू हैव टू फॉलो दीज स्टेप्स. इफ इट इज डबल एंगल, अगेन विथ two conditions, I'll explain in the next session. Okay, thank you.